So here's what happened. One afternoon, I walked past the living room and noticed my son was on a website I knew I had blocked. Nothing terrible, but it made me realize our current parental control setup wasn't really doing the job. My fiance and I had been meaning to look into better options for a while, and that moment made me really push to take it seriously. We wanted a parental control tool that wasn't just about blocking stuff, but actually helped us guide our kids toward healthier online habits. So we tested out a bunch of different parental control apps, and after a lot of trial and error, one that really stood out to us was Qustodio. In this video, I'll share what we found while using Qustodio, how it stacks up against some of the others we've tried, what features stood out, and a few things we think could still be improved. And hopefully this helps you decide if Qustodio is the right fit for your family. Now, let's get into it. If you haven't heard of Qustodio before, it's basically a parental control app that helps parents manage and monitor their kids online. You can set screen time limits, block websites, and filter out content you don't want them seeing. It works across phones, tablets, and computers, so no matter what your kids are using, you can stay in the loop. It also gives you insight into who they're interacting with and what kinds of apps or sites they're spending time on. Qustodio has a ton of features, but I'll just highlight a few of the big ones here. So first up is safe search and web filtering. This lets you control what your kids can and can't access online. You can block specific websites or choose entire categories that you want to keep off limits. It's super flexible, and the best part is that it works across both Apple and Android services, plus all the major web browsers. Now, there is something here that I think could be improved. You don't have the options to block or allow specific URLs within a website, which means, for example, you can't block YouTube, but allow specific YouTube channels. They either make you block or allow the whole domain. And I do know that there are other programs out there like Microsoft Family Safety, for example, that do offer that option. So I know that it's definitely doable. But they do make it really, really easy for you to limit what your kids have access to online. And on your parental control panel, which is on the website, they have a full activity report going back 30 days. There you're gonna be able to see everything your kids have been doing online over the past month. They're actually really thorough and show you everything from screen time to blocked websites, call logs, and all the messages that either your kids sent or messages that were sent to them. But the only catch is that you have to monitor a bunch of different devices. Say you have a few kids or your kids have a bunch of devices. The report only gives you data from all of the devices put together in one place. So you can't see which specific device something came from. So you have to do a little investigating if you do find something on the report that's a little troublesome. Now, if you're using Android, there's a panic button, which lets kids send an emergency signal to their parents. And also, you can program your kid's phone to send out specific alerts, like if you want an alert when your kid leaves a certain place, or tries to access a blocked website, or if they try and download a restricted app, things like that. But I think they could improve a little bit where they let you see what your kids are doing in an app. For example, I can get a notification when they use a certain app, but I can't actually see what they did while using the app, which might be a problem if the app itself has internet access inside of it. And there are also a bunch of other really helpful tools, things like letting you set daily screen time limits and restricted times, like bedtime or homework hours. And like I brought up before, they're able to track your kids' location, which helps ease my and my fiance's minds when our kids are walking home from school. But I just want to point out that when Qustodio is installed on iPhones, Apple's Find My Phone feature doesn't work, which I don't think is such a big deal because you can just use Qustodio to find it. And if you ever delete Qustodio off the iPhone or whatever device, the Find My Phone feature will go back to working just fine. Okay, so in terms of pricing, they have two plans. First, they do offer a very limited free plan you can use for one device, which I think is really nice of them, even though it's pretty limited in terms of features, which is understandable. Then there's the basic plan, which costs a little under $5 a month for up to 5 devices. And then there's their highest tier plan called the Complete Plan, where you can use the full feature set that they offer on unlimited devices, and it costs only around $8 or $8.50 a month. And if you're looking to save a little extra, there's a discounted link down in the description below. Using that will automatically apply a deal you wouldn't get by going straight to their website. So you might as well take advantage of it while it's available. Now, obviously, the higher you go in tiers, the more features and support you'll get. For example, you only get certain alerts, YouTube monitoring, call and message monitoring, and Care Plus, which is priority help from their customer service team with their Complete Plan. So if you go with their Complete Plan, which I did end up getting because I wanted all the unlimited devices as well as all of the features and alerts, they'll basically prioritize helping you if you run into any issues. Now, in terms of installing it, I'm not a tech guru or anything, so I did feel a bit overwhelmed at the idea of getting Qustodio up and running at first, but I realized after I set it up that it really wasn't a big deal. It's just like installing any other software that you get, like a VPN or an antivirus. They'll just send you a confirmation email that will take you through the entire process. And on an iPhone or Android, you just download the app, log in, and all your devices automatically get linked to your Qustodio dashboard so you can monitor and manage everything right from your phone. One thing to keep in mind, it is illegal to use Qustodio on a non-dependent without their knowledge. So make sure that you're only installing it on devices that you're allowed to monitor, like your kids' devices. Now, I did mention, I will be completely honest, so I will say that while Qustodio does a solid job, and it is the one that I chose, it's not going to be perfect for everyone, and depending on your needs, you might want to go in a different direction. For instance, if you want to be able to block or allow specific URLs within a website, like I mentioned earlier, Microsoft Family Safety might be a better fit for you. And in terms of the reports, Norton Family might be the way to go because unlike Questodio's 30-day activity reports, which sort of lumps all the data together, Norton Family can pinpoint which device certain data came from, which saves you some investigating if you do ever find anything troubling. And in terms of monitoring within apps, again, like I mentioned earlier, Qustodio can send alerts when a certain app is being used, but isn't able to tell you what your kids are doing inside of those apps. Here, mSpy might be the way to go because it gives you detailed in-app activity. So look, to wrap up, I'm still using Qustodio, and while there's room for improvement, I've been really impressed with what it offers. So even though some other tools have features that it doesn't, the protections and control Qustodio provides are already solid for me. And for the 2 years I've had it, I would definitely recommend it to anyone looking to protect their kids online. It's giving me peace of mind, knowing that I can keep them safe even when I'm not right there with them. That's all for today. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to give Qustodio a try, check out the link in the description below for that discount I mentioned earlier. It's a deal you won't find if you go directly to their site. And if you got any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as I can. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.